I Storbritannien anmäls varannan minut att en person försvunnit.
You feel total panic.
Is there anything in the address that shows any sort of planned absences, any notes?
There are hundreds of different reasons as to why people might be missing from home.
Concerns are growing for the welfare of a missing Darlington pensioner.
Archie!
Losing time can be catastrophic.
Polisen försöker att kartlägga hur personen rörde sig fram till försvinnandet.
Some crumb, a sighting, that's what we're after, proof of life.
What is going on in your head? Where are you going? What are you going to go and do next?
Kameror följer Durham-polisens arbete minut för minut under sökandet.
You saw the male at the cemetery.
We're seen leaving the cemetery and turning right.
För familj och vänner är ovissheten plågsam.
You see people missing all the time, but you don't actually feel it, do you, until it actually happens to somebody who's close. It's the worst feeling in the world.
It doesn't matter how close you are to somebody, everybody has secrets.
I found him. I've just found him now.
I want to know where my son is. I need to be with him.
Durham Police Control Room, can I help?
I'm just ringing up to report a missing person.
What's the circumstance?
My husband, he's been missing since Saturday night. We just had an argument. He's just stormed out in a huff like a little kid, and he's gone in his car and I've never seen him since. The only reason why I haven't reported it any earlier, I thought he might have been out with workmates or whatever. But it's out of character really, because that's why I was waiting for him if he turned up at work today, because it's a new job and he's working with his brother.
Does he sort of take drugs, alcohol, anything like that?
No, because like we've got the baby now, so he's not really a big drinker. He doesn't really go out much. We've only been married 6 weeks.
Okay, I've made a log. We'll get an officer to come round and see you within the next hour or so.
28-årige Darren har varit försvunnen i 3 dagar. En polis sänds till bostaden i Newton Aycliffe för att ta hustruns redogörelse.
Give you a bit of a run through of what we know so far. A call came into police just after 12:30 yesterday afternoon from the wife. She's called Rebecca. She reported that she hadn't seen her husband since approximately 9 p.m. on Saturday the 27th of August. At that time she accounted that they'd been at their home address in Aycliffe and that there'd been a very minor argument between them. He'd stormed out of the address and left in a vehicle and hadn't been in contact with her since. Yesterday morning, she admitted that the account she'd given initially to police wasn't correct and that, in fact, on Saturday night, the pair of them had travelled to an address in Darlington for a barbecue at a friend's address. And at some point around the 9 o'clock mark, we believe, he's walked out and he's left. He hasn't actually been seen to get into the car and leave by anybody present, but the car's gone, so they've made an assumption that he's left in the vehicle.
I've never dealt with one where the reporting person's lied to us to start off with. It's extremely frustrating when you've been working on it for however many hours or days, and then you find out that it's all been wasted because you've been looking completely the wrong area, and time has passed and you could have been really honing in your resources to try and find the individual. Really frustrating. I was thinking the barbecue at Darlington, I think in working backwards from that point is really important. So if we can go there, find out who's there, do the house-to-house, establish whether there's CCTV, and just actually try and find out when his car moved.
Hustrun sa att Darren gav sig iväg från hemmet. Nu säger hon att det skedde under en grillfest i Darlington. Polisen börjar med festens värdinna.
What's your gut instinct telling you?
I feel ill. It's not like him at all.
So what's your gut telling you?
I don't know. Something's happened to him, hasn't it? I'm just thinking the worst, I think.
I mean, we don't know. We do not know what's happened to him. He may be at a mate's house getting his head down.
Darren sågs lämna grillfesten med sin bil mellan klockan 21 och 22. Polisen hoppas nu kunna hitta bilen.
Got a misper and we've had no proof of life. And I'm just wondering if we can do some ANPR inquiries, both national and internal, just to see if he's hit anything.
Hasn't returned anything for today.
But still no reads at all nationally.
No.
It's just odd that his car hasn't pinged at all.
Darrens bil kan finnas någonstans mellan Darlington och hans bostad. Att leta från luften är mest effektivt.
Hello, I'm trying to get an MPAS deployment for missing from home we've got at the moment. It's Miss Per. We've got an area we need to deploy the bird.
Familjen har berättat att Darren alltid kör en viss väg från Darlington till sitt hus.
Support. Go ahead. In relation to a mission from home, we know that he's travelled away from a party in Durham. There's a preferred route he takes, and we think he's probably taking the back roads. And it looks like behind the Gretna Hotel, Ricknell Lane, Lodge Lane, then it would have gone on to Elton Lane, Bishopton Lane, and then over to Great Bird.
We need to do a search from Darlington to the Aycliffe home address, specifically concentrating on the Sedgefield back roads.
He's driving a silver Renault Megane.
That's all received. I'll give you an update as soon as we've conducted the search of Darren. We've done the area search as directed. The route is clear.
Well, thank you very much for the update. Appreciate it.
Roger. If there's nothing else, we'll do a stand down. Thanks for your call.
The delay in reporting him missing, which virtually amounted to 3 days, is far too long. If I know that somebody's disappeared within the last hour, then the opportunities for somebody within that hour to go somewhere else are quite restrictive. However, if it's 3 days or 4 days, then who knows where they may have gone. Widening your parameters means there's more work to be done, there's a larger number of cameras to be checked, there's a huge geographical area that we need to check. If you tell me that somebody was at a bus stop on the high street at 3:15, then that's a lot easier than, well, they left this party 4 days ago and I don't know which way they went or where they went.
It was awful. From when I found out, it was just like, joking, aren't you? He's only gone to a barbecue for a drink and he's just disappeared like that. I was just, as you do, looking through Facebook and I seen a message saying, "How are Darren? Get yourself back home." I thought someone was just messing on. I thought it was just a prank. I phoned Rebecca and all that, and she said, "Oh, yeah, he's got off in his car." And he's like, "I haven't seen him since Saturday." I was like, "Since Saturday?" And I'll just find out now. So that was it really, and that's all I really knew until like they were going to phone the police to report him missing. Oh, I was rack my brains where it could be. The thing is, you can disappear quite easily. Go down them country lanes. How many cameras is there? You can go past 2 cameras and then you're lost after that down the country lanes. It's easy to get lost.
Området som ska sökas igenom är 130 kvadratkilometer stort. Polisen hoppas att någon har sett Darren.
We're just looking for a missing from home. You haven't seen any suspicious vehicles or anything parked down here, have you?
I haven't, no.
No.
Unless the drive up here, I wouldn't see anything now.
No, right, okay. We think he's taken the back route from Darlington back towards Aycliffe, and he hasn't returned back to Aycliffe, so we're assuming he's parked up somewhere maybe. We haven't seen anything suspicious.
Seen anything at all. I don't know if next door might have seen something.
Okay, I'll go and give them a knock. Thank you.
Because of the nature of the complexity of the inquiries involved in this, this is probably the biggest missing person case I've been involved with in this force.
The access point down to there was quite old cobwebs and stuff like that.
It's like being in limbo, that you just don't know and you just can't find where that person is that means so much. And it's like desperation that you're racking your brains all the time. Where's Darren? It just takes over your life.
I'd always feel responsible, no matter what. He's my brother. He'd feel the same way as me. He is a child at heart, and it's just the way he's wit and the way he comes out with things and his one-liners and stuff. Big child at heart. I mean, he was when he was at the wedding. We were messing on, fun fighting and stuff. Never stopped smiling all day. He had the biggest smile on his face you can imagine. From walking in that door to having our last drink. And he just loved his suit, his gold suit.
We follow the basics of the investigation and we're getting nothing. I would expect that there will be some crumb will come out, some spark, a sighting, a phone call from somebody who's spoken to them, you know. There will be like a proof of life, and that's what we're after, proof of life. But it's almost like he just disappeared off the face of the earth.
På stationen i Bishop Auckland börjar ett nytt pass. Polisen har inte fått upp ett spår och tittar därför på hustruns ändrade uppgifter igen.
His wife, presently witness, but increasingly suspicious. Her account has changed on 2 or 3 occasions. For example, she said things such as, "I hate him," and said, "Well, why do you hate him? Because he's been missing, because he's done this to you, the emotional turmoil." No, because he's drink drove on the night. And she's become quite hostile when we've started to question her. And equally, she doesn't want us to go to her house. Every time we've contacted her today, she's insisted on coming to the police station. It's becoming increasingly suspicious, particularly with the lack of proof of life.
Well, that, and if she's obviously changing accounts on several occasions and gone hostile, and it begs the question, why? What has happened? What is she not telling us? Not
Exactly. The really, really suspicious might question whether the person who's actually been reported missing is actually the victim of a domestic homicide, and that the delay in reporting it to us is deliberate, so that, you know, evidence can be concealed, so that steps can be taken to, you know, to lay a false trail, or to actually hide or conceal what's gone on. So that's probably the most sinister aspect of that delay.
It was a fiery relationship. Liked to argue a bit, but they loved each other. That's the way they went on, really. She was just shouting, "What have you hoovered up for? I've already hoovered up." "Yeah, but it needed hoovering up again." "It doesn't need bloody hoovering up, I've already done it." Little daft things like that. Just the way she was. I think sometimes she doesn't realise how she's doing it. She's just irate. She just shouts, "I'm the boss."
Poliserna pratar med Darrens hustru.
Have you got any further information today, Rebecca, or not? You've nothing at all? Because bearing in mind you've got a lot of resources looking for him, if there's anything you think, or even something really, really small, let us know, because that could change our thought process, you know what I mean? And we can concentrate our efforts on that. All we want to do, Rebecca, is bring him home to you and the bairn. That's all we want, right? So any information, even if you think it's going to get him into trouble, you need to let us know.
Darren har varit försvunnen i 5 dagar. Kommissarien Neil Armstrong ordnar ett möte med kriminalavdelningen.
Not to have a single lead, which is unusual, really unusual. And the last person who saw them alive has lied to us. That's when I approached CID and said, we need some assistance now to establish what this person knows and what they don't know.
I've been in CID for nearly 10 years. I think this is probably only the second time in that period of time that I've been involved in a missing from home case.
We spoke to Rebecca again, just no emotion from her. She basically just said, you know, she's got to carry on with her life.
And how did she present to you then?
Very cold. Very cold for somebody whose husband's been missing 5 days.
Initially, she said that her belief was that he was dead, and it had been for 2 days. And again, that was prior to her reporting him missing to us, wasn't it?
Did she elaborate as to why she thought that?
Just because the fact he hadn't been seen. She couldn't elaborate any further, could she? Yeah, just no emotion, very cold, strange.
Det handlar om att ta reda på vad som hände den dagen då Darren försvann.
As detectives, we've had that enhanced level of training that we will ask those awkward questions, and not everybody likes being asked those awkward questions, but unfortunately sometimes that's the only way to get to the truth.
They went to this barbecue. It was a small function. Nobody actually saw Darren leave the barbecue, and we know that there was potentially a domestic incident there as well, possibly even a minor assault involved as well. So we just need to get that bottomed out to see what people actually saw.
Utredarna Emma McCabe och Claire McElveny ska leta igenom platsen där grillfesten hölls. Kriminalavdelningen begär även in övervakningsbilder från dagen för försvinnandet. De vet att Darren handlade på Tesco i sin hemstad.
What we need is to double check the CCTV for Saturday night. Just gone for the ATM.
I'll padlock that, son.
No worries.
It was the 27th, wasn't it?
Yeah, 27th. The actual transaction was 1649.
Emma och Claire har letat igenom platsen och nu gräver de djupare i värdinnans redogörelse.
I need to know everything. The only way I can help you is if you tell me everything and let me be the judge of what I do and do not need to know.
So what time did the party start then?
2 o'clock.
And did he come in for 2?
Yeah, they were here for 2 because Becky brought their birthday cake.
So what were they like when they first got here?
All right, they were fine.
Anything?
Nothing.
No
Nothing.
moods, no fallouts?
No.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Was this sign that either of them had a drink when they first arrived?
No.
Not at all?
No, none of them. 'Cause they were having a drink.
Okay.
But then Darren had said that his mum would have the baby. So then Darren went to go and drop the baby off.
Mm-hmm.
And then come back with a box of Stella and 2 bottles of wine for Becky.
Poliserna undersöker vad Darren gjorde under den tid han inte var på grillfesten. De vet att han var klädd i jeans och en vit tröja.
Yeah, that's him there.
Yeah, you're 100% that's him, yeah?
I'd say so.
1649. Do you want me to see if we can trace him around the store for you? If he's come in, we should be able to follow him on the CCTV.
There he is, comes in.
Just come into the store.
1649, 37.
Yeah. There you go. So he's walking along with that. He'll be going to the beer aisle, 100%.
There he is.
Yeah.
So he's actually gone up.
Spirit wine.
Wine aisle. He's got the wine aisle.
Right.
So, and there he is.
He's got a bottle.
2 bottles of spirit, 2 bottles of wine in his hand. And that's
like sort of imports, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the Budweiser. That's where the crates of Bud are. And that.
What's she got?
It's a white box that is either
Stella.
That's Stella or it's that. No, that's 100% Stella, yeah. Hopefully he goes to self-serve to pay. So there you go, so you can clearly identify him there. Yeah. Got his bag for life.
Great start.
We don't get him outside at all, do we?
Not after he he leaves this shot here.
So, at what time did he return then?
He was gone about an hour and a half.
So that makes it between 5 and 6?
Yeah.
Was he drinking any of Becky's wine?
I think so, yeah.
So he was drinking wine as well?
Yeah. He'd been drinking the lager, he'd been to the shop to get more Jack Daniels.
And he got some JD?
JD, fags and a scratch card, because he was over the moon because he'd won on the scratch card.
Had he?
Yeah.
Did he say how much money he'd won?
Not a clue.
Bilderna från den här kiosken är tagna 1 timme efter inköpen på Tesco.
Perfect, thank you.
So, have you recorded the initial footage of him in the shop? Right, let's have a look at this.
This is outside. There he is. Right, so that's 17:48 and 58 seconds.
17:48.
Enligt vittnen lämnade Darren festen 9:30 på kvällen. Det värdinnan berättar om tiden från inköpen fram till dess är mycket viktigt.
How big was the bottle of JD?
It was, do you know, one of the little ones like that? But he'd had 2 of them. My husband was drinking them as well.
Oh, so
it was between him and my husband. Right. I know they were talking and having a heart-to-heart in the garden, and they were talking about friends, him having no friends or something like that.
So who noticed that Darren had left?
Me.
You? And how did you notice it?
I went up to the toilet. Well, we thought, because the way he left the room...
How did he leave the room?
Just, like, as normal, as if you were going to the toilet. So I've checked all the rooms, nothing, and that's when I went on to the front, and that's when I noticed the car had gone. And that's when I came in and I said, look, he has gone.
What was Becky's reaction?
She's like, what do you mean he's gone? I was like, he's gone home, like, he's left you. Like...
We've had some information that
there's been a domestic incident between the two of them while they're at your house.
Domestic?
Yeah. Did you hear any fallouts between them?
Like, no.
Nothing
to
at all.
me, they were just bantering and they were being their normal selves. That's why I didn't... If there was, I would straight away.
Any physical contact between the two of them?
No, nothing. There was no big fight or nothing like that.
På stationen i Bishop Auckland rapporterar Emma och Claire till sin chef, Tommy Vance.
She said she hasn't seen an argument. Nobody's made reference to an argument.
The thing that just concerns me a little bit about that is that Rebecca is saying that there was possibly a physical assault by Rebecca on him.
I said, was there any physical contact between the two of them? She said no, unless she's hiding it.
Would you be able to give her another ring? I know we've come back from her there. Basically ask her direct and just say, look, no one's getting into trouble here. All we want to do is try and find Darren.
Hello? It's Emma from the police station. The officer's just been round to your house.
Hiya.
We've spoken to our boss, but what he said is that Becky's confirmed to us that she had a conversation with you on Sunday morning. You told her that there'd been a physical assault between her and Darren. Now, nobody's in any trouble. We're not kind of investigating any sort of assault. Yeah, that there's been some physical contact between the two of them. She'd hit... Right, so she did hit him. All right, thank you. Bye. Yeah, there's been a physical assault. She's confirmed it. She said, I didn't think it was important, but she said that before Darren went into the garden, she can't remember what was said, but that Becky has punched him to the face. No injury that she saw, no bleeding, immediate bruising or anything. Said that, described him as being absolutely fine, didn't appear upset, he didn't appear angry.
He'll have been embarrassed though.
Probably. Then he's gone into the kitchen, and then it's just after this when her partner and Darren have gone into the back garden to talk.
Have a one-to-one.
So I think there's really the important person we need to speak to.
Nu vet utredarna att Darren hade ett laddat samtal med värden innan han försvann.
The last person to see somebody alive, they can give that detailed account of someone's mindset prior to them going missing. They are key and we need to speak to them as quick as possible.
Men mannen de vill prata med är utomlands och återvänder inte förrän om 2 dagar.
As the week drew on, it was as though it was getting more desperate and it was getting more and more worrying. And then we felt like if we shared photos on Twitter and Facebook, that was the only thing that we could do. He hadn't been seen and his car hadn't been seen, and it just wasn't adding up.
Is he alive? Is he dead? All sorts were just going through my head. Just constantly, all the time. What ifs all the time? What ifs?
Efter 6 dagar kommer till slut ett genombrott.
Could you do me a favour? Could you record that footage and send it to me on my phone? I can concentrate our search around that area.
De har fått tag på viktiga filmbilder från kvällen då Darren lämnade grillfesten.
He's captured on CCTV that, you know, the PCSO's doing the review.
Yeah.
Junction of Longfield Road, and he turns right
fantastic.
onto Westall Road at 2151.
Brilliant.
He cuts the corner and then heads up Westall Road towards like Burtree that way. There's cops up there now searching that whole route.
Polisen har letat längs den väg som Darren brukar ta från Darlington. Bilderna visar att han körde i en annan riktning. Nu koncentrerar sig helikopterteamet på den väg som de vet att Darren tog.
We think he's gone up via Western Road according to CCTV in a direction towards A60 in Burtree. So if we can do a sweep cross towards Aycliffe.
Helikopterns kamera ser inte igenom den täta grönskan och därför letar polisen även till fots.
There's nothing like fresh either.
It's not here.
They've done their search of the area that I've highlighted, but unfortunately it's negative.
Just feel a bit deflated. It's more an element of frustration more than anything. You want to bring it to a conclusion, and there's nothing at this moment in time which is going to assist us in doing that. So hopefully that changes before the shift's over.
There's just nothing. There's just no explanation of where he is.
Utredarna fortsätter att prata med de andra gästerna på grillfesten.
And we've had information that you were actually one of the persons who was present at the barbecue on Saturday, which is the last place that he was seen. And how did Darren seem on the day? You said that their marriage wasn't very good. Do you know what they've been rowing about? They've been rowing about drugs. Who made that disclosure to you? So they've both told you that Darren's using drugs. Okay, did they say what drugs he was using? He's been smoking crack cocaine. She's saying that he's really bad crack habit. His personality's massively changed recently. She had a wine and cheese night a couple of months ago, and she described him as being a dick while he was at the party. That he's got this crack cocaine habit. His mum's has given him $3,000 in 2 months. He said that he needed it because Becky wasn't being paid maternity leave. But apparently he only uses it on a Thursday when she goes to her dad's house. You can't imagine though, can you? Like, someone who you've just married coming out with something like that.
To find out that he's possibly on crack cocaine. It's just unbelievable when I heard about it.
I don't know if I can comprehend anything crack cocaine with Darren. It just doesn't seem to go in the same sentence.
He's been, well, I wouldn't say habitually, but he's been previously using crack cocaine. You know, where does that come from and how does that fit in? Because if he's using that, you know, then are we looking at dealers, are we looking at debt, are we looking at, you know, him being an interim dealer or a user or, yeah.
If somebody is drug dependent, changes things massively. If they have, for example, a second life, which your partner's unaware of or your wife's unaware of, we need to probe into that and find out, well, is there actually something else that's going on underneath that's caused somebody to go missing from home?
People do have secrets, it's quite common. Our job is to work out who they really are and what they're about, what they're thinking, how their lifestyle is. What we see on face value of somebody smiling in a photograph and who looks really happy could deep down be heavily depressed. And I just automatically think, what is going on in your head? Where are you going? What are you going to go and do next? And it really does make you try and get back into their heads again of what's around you, what have you just done?
What's happened to him? He's left pissed and he's had an accident.
Then I would have thought if he's had an accident, there'd be a trace of his vehicle somewhere. So that would come up if it was a road traffic collision, because we'd have a record of it somewhere, either us or county forces, the other forces.
He's left pissed and killed himself?
Possibly, but there's no indicators to say why he would go and do so. He's not left a note or anything like that, though, is he?
Or he's just disappeared for a bit, to keep his head down for a few days. But he took a load of cash out the day before, didn't he? He might have an account that we don't know about. Unlikely, but has he got a passport?
No, she's got that, but as we said, he's got a friend in the military who's in Northern Ireland, where you'd only need a driving licence to get over there.
Could he be in some crack house in Darlington?
It was the Thursday I went out and I pretty much knew where the houses were, where you can go and get some stuff. So I went searching around all them. Obviously he wasn't there, you know, so it was like, where next? Asking people in the streets if they've seen likes of Darren and stuff. But there's a lot of people who said they haven't seen him. Haven't seen him for a while. I was racking my brains where he could be.
Darrens hustru har nu gett utredarna ny information.
She's looked at his online banking and she's seen that it's, in early August there's been £1,000 paid into the account. I asked her if there was anything on there as to suggest where it had come from, and she said no. And she said that all throughout August, at different times, there's been like £90 drawn out here, 120 drawn out here, you know, like different amounts over, like throughout August. And now it's cleared out, as I said, I think there's 39 pence or something left in it. And she had no idea about that money. She said it's not his wages, she doesn't know where it's come from.
So was that a separate bank account that she wasn't aware of?
No, she's aware of it.
This is the main Barclays account that they've been using.
Yeah.
But she's just never noticed that cash before?
I asked Rebecca, what's your gut feeling? And she said, I think because of the drugs, I think someone's taken him.
Someone's taken him?
Yeah. She didn't elaborate on it, and she couldn't put any sort of meat on the bones in relation to it, but...
Unless he's gone somewhere to score and something's befallen him.
It may be that she's still not letting on as much as she knows, we don't know.
Yeah.
Because she hasn't been consistent, has she?
Darrens kontoutdrag gör utredarna intresserade av en viss person.
Transactions. Yeah, basically, you know the neighbour next door, the best man? He, basically, Darren has been sending him online banking money so that the fella can draw it out for him, which is unusual. So we need to speak to the neighbour, this Thomas Archer. I'm going to try and get someone to go around and speak to him and try and find out what their relationship was and if he can shed any further light.
Den senaste månaden har Darren vid flera tillfällen satt in pengar på grannens konto.
I've been asked actually, Thomas, there's been some, they've obviously done a check on his bank and there's been some deposits made into your account.
Yeah, he used to do that all the time.
Right. What was that in relation to?
Because he never had a bank card, or he said he never had a bank card.
Right.
He says his mum's got his bank card. I've given it to my mum because he was trying to save money.
Right,
So he used to send me the money.
Yeah.
And then go around the shop and get the money out.
And get the money back out.
Yeah.
Did you just give him a card?
Yeah,
just to draw it out, yeah.
And he used to be skint all the while. And then come back and say, oh look, I've just won 500 quid on a scratch card. And you just knew blatantly he was lying. Because you can't go and cash a scratch card for 500 quid.
No.
You think, well, why didn't he just say, like, I think he used to borrow off people off his ma and that, you know. But he used to lie about money all the while.
Obviously, it's not that we're investigating any issues with drugs or anything like that, but you're aware of any issues that he had with drugs?
Well, I knew he did drugs, but I didn't think it was an issue.
Right.
Because he must have been quite good at hiding it. But kind of now it's been mentioned, you think, maybe that's why you're skint, and maybe that's why you're losing so much. I mean, the tops of his legs here, like when the wind blew around his jeans, I'm not joking, they were like my wrists.
Yeah.
Like proper, just dropped off him. He was always feeling like skinny, he was, never put no weight on, but recently he started looking like a corpse. There's all sorts of theories that you could come up with, but that's all the are theories, isn't it? You've got no money, you've got no change of clothes. Unless he's been saving up all that money that he's been taking out and he's planning to do a bunk somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know, it just seems weird for the car to go.
I've never worked on anything like this before, where the revelations about the lifestyle have continued to develop, where you think you're getting somewhere and then suddenly there's a whole raft of new lines of inquiry that are quite protracted and lengthy and can take you off in a completely different direction.
That was found, you know, like you get like a chest of drawers and you get a base along the bottom.
Yes.
See the bottom of that cupboard there?
The ledger.
When you take the drawers out, it's an empty space underneath. Underneath there was this. Obviously, when she's looked in there, there's been...
That's all of his debt.
There's bank statements and debt letters, she said.
It's a defaulted bank account, Capital One credit card with £345 default on it. That may relate to that, so we don't know about it, but yeah.
Right, that's fine.
Put that in as one unit, and
Yeah.
that can be looked through.
Yeah. Aye.
Fantastic, thank you.
No worries.
Darren och Rebecca köpte sitt hus för några år sedan.
So it'll be about 2 to 3 years. We saved up for a deposit and put a deposit on the house, and then they moved in that house. When I first got on the property ladder, I picked my house up for £29,000, you know. Now we're looking at 80, 90, 100, you know. You're looking at £400, £500 a month. That's even before anything else. Easy. He never showed any pressure, that's for, like, he never once showed he was, like, struggling with anything. He just got on with life. He was always jolly still, but he knows he's brave on the outside. That's what goes on inside.
If drugs are involved in a case and it's a consideration that the debt that comes with it or the risks owing money to a drug dealer, to them is quite a significant thing. Because if I don't pay Barclays for my mortgage, I'll get a letter and then I'll get a warning letter and whatever else. They'll get their legs broken. So, and they don't play fair, the debt will get doubled, tripled, and realistically it's going to be never ending.
When you start factoring in debt and when you start factoring in drug use and you start factoring in a side of life which your family are oblivious to, then it's possible that you've been hiding. You've almost had like a secret life or a second life. It's like going through the back of the wardrobe into Narnia, isn't it? It's like you exist in a parallel life. They'd just had enough of the mundane existence, which was the normal life. They would just disappear and almost make a new start, and you know, start living that side of their life, which was just different to what the life they'd been leading previously in that you know, the domestic and family setup.
Det har gått 7 dagar sedan Darren försvann från grillfesten. Världen är nu tillbaka i Storbritannien. Utredarna vill veta vad hans och Darrens samtal handlade om.
We've been told that, and this has come from Becky, that she'd been seen to hit Darren at the party.
Right.
And a few people have said that you had quite a conversation with Darren outside. It was a bit of a heart-to-heart.
They were arguing, like name calling.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, let's go outside and have a smoke and a chat. And we went outside, sat in the gazebo, and I was like, what's up? And he just started getting upset. And he was
Upset, crying? Or?
Yeah, crying.
Okay.
I was like, what's up with you?
Okay. This part that you're going to
It's really important.
Is really important. So I'm going to try and type exactly what you say.
He can't seem to find a way out of it, and he doesn't know how to make things better. And he was saying, I've messed up, I don't know how to get back from it. I was like, well, what have you done? Oh, she's never going to forgive me, she's never going to forgive me. I was like, well, whatever you've done can't be that bad. I said, you've only been married a few weeks. I said, like, sort your head out, basically. Yeah. And he was saying, oh, but she'll never forgive me, she'll never forgive me. He said, I've got no mates. I said, well, I'm your mate. But I haven't actually known him for that long. I've known him not even 6 months, I don't think.
Did he ever at any point say what this thing is that he'd done?
It was just
like he was not going to forgive.
He seemed as if whatever he's done, it seemed like he didn't know how to make things better. Then we went back in the house and we had a few more drinks, and then he just went.
So did he tell him what was wrong?
Nothing.
Did he not ask him?
He hasn't pushed him, no.
And are we happy that he's telling the truth about that?
Yeah. I've read it out to him about 3 times.
Because that would be your first question, wouldn't it? It's a shame he didn't probe as to why he was so down.
Nothing. Couldn't give any lines of inquiry. He did say he's going to go out walking tonight with another guy who was at the party to see if he could find him.
Strax efter värdens besök på polisstationen kommer Darrens bror Andrew oväntat dit.
Come and take a seat. My name's Emma. I'm a detective and I work on South Durham CID. Right. I'm one of the officers assisting in the investigation of finding Darren.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Very good.
No. Are there any questions you want to ask us?
How's he disappeared? Where's he gone?
What do you think's happened to him?
Well, my initial feelings are he's just gone and started a new life.
Emergency. Could I please share where, please? Where to? The lady's gone missing from Darren. I found him. Okay, whereabouts are you? You know, Bertram, on a caravan there. I've just found him now.
It's 2 minutes, Graham.
Hello, my name's Graham.
DS over at Bishop. Where exactly is the vehicle?
Darrens bil har hittats i en rondell med tät växtlighet, en halvmil från grillfesten i Darlington. Emma och Andrew känner inte till upptäckten.
I just wish I could get in his mind and think what he's doing and what's going on. But if someone's got, you don't know if he's got depression, you don't know, do you? Because I've had depression myself, and you just block everything else out. And everything else what's around you doesn't mean anything, you know what I mean? It's just, you're in your own little world.
Yeah.
And I've been there, but I've sorted myself out and stuff. You never know, it could be a number of things. I don't know. I don't know how.
Okay?
Yeah.
Right. Just this way.
So we're approaching the scene now, but as you can see, we're on a dual carriageway there. It has been national speed limit up until the point that we've just passed, but it drops to a 50 because, you know, it's quite a severe bend on approach to the roundabout here. There's been quite a number of accidents in previous times, so where we can see we're just approaching the actual point now.
So you're actually on the roundabout then?
Ah, yeah. I mean, there's some...
Right there as well.
Yeah. All right. Let's go and have a look. He's travelled some distance then, hasn't he?
Yes. Yes.
It is well hidden.
See how he's cast it down?
Yeah,
That's the wing mirror.
Jeez. So he's actually been airborne and struck that there. So you're happy it's a traffic accident? Hiya, you all right?
Hiya, yeah, you?
Yeah. Have you heard?
I've heard that his vehicle's been found.
Yeah. I mean, it's his vehicle, and there's a deceased male within, so it's going to be him.
Deceased male in the car?
Yeah.
Okay.
And to be fair, where he is, he's probably come straight from the party and probably died within 10 minutes, I suspect. The route he's taken, but it is well hidden, so it's unlikely anyone, you know, he's obviously been travelling at a massive speed. He's been airborne and hit a tree halfway up.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Do you want me to stay here and then...
Yeah, just stay there, and we'll sort out what we're going to do with the family afterwards.
Yeah, the brother's just left, yeah.
Right, okay, no problem.
I still remember it was absolutely bouncing with rain. I just knew it was fatal as soon as I seen that car. There was no way there was anybody coming away from that. almost felt like somebody took my heart out and stuck a knife through it. It still feels like that now. The thing is, if I had that opportunity to help him, I would have helped him.
Police emergency. I've lost my boy.
I Storbritannien anmäls varannan minut att en person försvunnit.
You feel total panic.
Is there anything in the address that shows any sort of planned absences, any notes?
There are hundreds of different reasons as to why people might be missing from home.
Concerns are growing for the welfare of a missing Darlington pensioner.
Archie!
Losing time can be catastrophic.
Polisen försöker att kartlägga hur personen rörde sig fram till försvinnandet.
Some crumb, a sighting, that's what we're after, proof of life.
What is going on in your head? Where are you going? What are you going to go and do next?
Kameror följer Durham-polisens arbete minut för minut under sökandet.
You saw the male at the cemetery.
We're seen leaving the cemetery and turning right.
För familj och vänner är ovissheten plågsam.
You see people missing all the time, but you don't actually feel it, do you, until it actually happens to somebody who's close. It's the worst feeling in the world.
It doesn't matter how close you are to somebody, everybody has secrets.
I found him. I've just found him. I've just found him now.
I want to know where my son is. I need to be with him.